Porsche. Porsche? However it was pronounced, you can't deny the fact that this manufacturer left an impact to the automobile industry. Porsche vehicles were established as a beautiful yet simple machine that performed exactly the way the driver wanted it to. They combine innovation with tradition that never steer away from their roots ever since their creation back in 1931. Over the years, they have made a plethora of cars that are well received and became a powerhouse, and everything else is history. As for the gaming side, they are well known too. So much so that EA bought the licensing rights and remains the only one that can use the car itself. It was a pretty dark time considering other racing games have to use the subdivision version. Porsche games are mostly non-existent. But if we rewind the clock to 3 years earlier when EA isn't causing trouble everywhere, there's a game that features Porsche, and we will talk about it today. Porsche Challenge is developed by Sony Computer Entertainment Studio Soho and published by Sony Computer Entertainment for the original PlayStation 1, first released on June 30th, 1997 for Europe before coming to North America on August 1st, 1997. Happy birthday! Studio Soho is probably no stranger as they are the developer of The Getaway, one of my favorite games on PlayStation 2. Other than that, they mostly work on sports titles, and also this thing right here.
We put them together.
Smash the video game! You're serious, right? Video game industry, why did this need to happen?
Anyway, back to the main topic. Porsche Challenge itself is pretty straightforward. You drive your lovely Porsche while racing against other rivals with Porsche as well. Oh boy, I can't wait to drive my lovely 959 and of course the iconic 917. Wait, where are they? Where are those cars? I thought this game is called Porsche Challenge, so where are the Porsche? Did someone lie to me? Oh come on! Actually, this game only features one Porsche, the one and only Porsche Boxster 986. Here's a little history. Back in the 90s, Porsche didn't perform well in the market. They were able to sell just 14,000 models globally, with a total of 3,000 of them coming from the States. Mind you, it was a huge drop compared to the sales of 50,000 in the 80s. Buyers had lost interest in 968 and 911 coupes. On the other hand, the likes of convertible roadster have grown significantly, and by October of 1991, Porsche is in dire straits, and thus they devised a solution. Fast forward to 1992, Porsche began development of a successor to the 928 and the recently released 968, from merely a concept to an eventual car which was unveiled at the 1993 Detroit Auto Show. The Boxster concept was a new Porsche for a new generation. The production version was completed 3 years later. It uses the M96, a water-cooled, horizontally opposed 6-cylinder engine, and it was the first Porsche first water-cooled non-front engine. In the Boxster, it is placed in a mid-engine layout. The mid-engine layout was chosen due to the fact that it provides a low center of gravity and a near-perfect weight distribution and neutral handling that give a good amount of balancing and handling for any users. Selling at a price of $25,000, the Boxster helped Porsche to jump off the bankrupt zone and cannonball their way into the new millennium. Gotta admit, the car looks cute. So that's the short history of Porsche Boxster. No need to thank me. So with the interesting story of Porsche Boxster, one could imagine if the manufacturer approached Sony to make a game, though I couldn't find any source to back up the claim. So hey, that's just a theory. A Porsche theory. Okay, that sounds pretty cringy. So let's start with the most important aspect, which is the gameplay. The car controls surprisingly well, where it reacts to your movement on the controller regardless of which mode you choose. At first glances, you most likely could be struggling to keep the car in a balanced maneuver, but it's not that hard to pick up and drive eventually. Both modes allow you to experiment with gameplay styles that you prefer, and if you play those modes back and forth, the difference will be day and night. Though some people say they're the same, but in my opinion, they are somewhat different, especially on some section of a track, which consists 4 of them. Stuttgart used to be a racetrack in Germany, USA, driving by the suburban area that is also near the ocean. Japan, traverse through the night city within the parking lot, and lastly, Alps, climbing the snowy hill passing by the resort. All of them have their specific nature that differentiate from each other. In USA, you can see a cop pulling over a driver. This is why you don't press the select button in Need for Speed Most Wanted. A random bus in the middle of the road? Still, could be worse. Japan, where you are greeted by this ominous signpost, which kind of scared me for some reason, and Alps, you can see the crane going by above you and the occasional train sound. All of them offer different attention to details to keep the players going. You might be thinking, only 4 tracks? This game sucks. But here's the twist. Each of the 4 tracks contain alternate route that you can take depending on which mode you chose. And here's where the fun part begins. There are different layouts that changes up your approach. Oh, you think you are good enough with this track? Now try this one, sucker! Not only it offers you new challenges, but also adding some freshness to the game. You won't find yourself repeating the same route every lap, but instead putting yourself to the real test. But before you can touch them, you gotta beat the game first. The main core of the game is championship itself, where you race through 4 tracks against 5 other rivals. And yes, all of them drive boxster, albeit with different colors. Hey, they all still look cute though. Other than aesthetic change, there is frankly nothing else that are different, so don't expect any advantage within some of the drivers. Hey look, I'm in the game! But hey, I don't wear like that. The game is lying to me again! Other than myself, I also prefer to drive as Takabo. He is a Chad living his life to the fullest. If you pay closer attention, your biggest rival is not the driver, but something very obvious that always haunts you each lap. Because this is an arcade racer, it makes sense to have a timer and checkpoint scattered across the map. On easy, you have to fail on purpose to even run out of time. On regular, at least you have some pressure, but then comes evil. One mistake and it's all over. Which is what I like to call
literal hell.
do not try this if you still haven't mastered this game. It will drive you insane. You will thank me later. Like I said earlier about the alternate route, each mode offers something different. Regular, the racetrack remains in their default status. Long, where the alternate route is open, that reveal longer road. And lastly, interactive. Basically works the same as long, but here the tracks are unpredictable. Sometimes when you think you can go this way, the game tricks you into going another way, but also opening up some shortcuts that you could potentially miss. You really need to pay close attention on the map, because if you miss them, there's a chance you will never see the AI again, as they also use them. Not only the AI are smart, but also unfair. If you are familiar with rubber banding, then you know what I'm saying. Even if you are leading, the AI are still right behind you. No matter how fast you're going, like switching to manual transmission, they will still stuck behind you, like a pack of cars chasing you down on a racetrack. You can't afford to mess up at all, especially on Evo mode, which I'm gonna say again, do not even try it. That's all I gotta say with the gameplay. As for the graphics, in some way, it is impressive, even by 1997 standard. The car itself is pretty detailed on each part of the car, and thanks to some of the help from the engineers at Porsche, they were able to provide the needed blueprint for the developer to work on the car, and the result is nothing but perfection. Judging by PS1 standard, the 3D polygonal model of the car itself still holds up like a charm. And remember, this game came out way before Gran Turismo did. And by putting both side by side, they still look stunning. Let's not forget they also use something called the gold rod shading and real-time lighting. I don't have much knowledge in stuff like shading, but here is my best explanation. The visual of the car will be different depending on where you are. For example, your car will look brighter on Stuttgart, but then comes Japan where it looks darker. It's like shining some light on your car but turning it off, which makes the car look darker. That is frankly my best explanation I could come up. The gold rod shading was such an achievement that they even advertised it in the back of the game. They were proud of their achievement. Soundtrack wise, I gotta admit, they are amazing. Maybe it must be my nostalgic, but I haven't played this game since 2012, a whopping 10 years, but until now, the music is still engraved in my brain. I am not making this up. Like I said, it could be my nostalgia or because I'm interested with that genre. I cannot forget the soundtrack at all. Upon starting up the game, you are greeted with this. Four of those tracks also have distinctive music to accompany. Stuttgart sounds like your normal music you will hear during track day. USA sounds like you're on a wacky road trip. I mean, we are on a wacky town, doing wacky racing with some wacky traffic. Japan, this ominous tune gave me more goosebumps while driving through the dark alleyway. And Alps, the chilling music keep you cool while you get through the hardest part of the track. Overall, all of the music have their unique feature that add some vibes to the game, and they are very memorable. And that is my review on Porsche Challenge, a really good arcade racer that doesn't offer that much content. With only Porsche Boxster included, some fans would be annoyed, but they will write the amount of tracks, layout along with a soothing soundtrack. You definitely don't want to miss it. Not to mention, this is also the first and last game to feature Porsche before EA, the Dominator, ruined everything. If there's one thing I learned, is to enjoy every moment because they don't last forever. So if you get a chance, get this game. You will thank me later. With Porsche licenses expire for EA in 2016, the future looks bright again for other games to get their hands on the brand itself. And who knows, maybe a remake could be on its way from other developers. If it wasn't for Boxster, Porsche wouldn't be around at this day and age. That could be an even darker future, don't you think? That's all I gotta say with this video. If you enjoy what you see, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that you won't miss a thing. Comment below your opinion on this game. Have you tried this? Let's have a peaceful discussion. And if you want to follow me what I'm doing, be sure to follow my Twitter in description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.